me here. This is really fun. So I'm Representative Ross Hunter, and I'm Representative Eddie Seaton. She lives in the 1st Congressional District part. I live in the 8th Congressional District part. And I am doing her job over there, so I'm going to be brief, which it's taken me a long time to learn this, but that's what you actually want in political speeches, is to be brief and be long. And I have to say, running 6 years ago, I ran in this district, in the 48th district for the legislature as a Democrat. And I was the first Democrat elected in the 48th since 1889, since state election. It was an interesting experience to do this. I got to run against a gun lobbyist, which was really good because it gave pretty clear separation of him and me. We were real different. And I ran then because I cared about education funding. In fact, I was angry about education funding, how it worked on raising money for the Bellevue School District, because my kids were in Bellevue, and I was out raising private money from rich people which is when you actually want to raise money for stuff, you'd spend a lot of time talking to rich people. It's like Willie Sutton, it's where the money is, for science curriculum. And I got to thinking, this is kind of goofy. Why am I raising private money for a science curriculum in a public school system? And so I went out and learned how the public school funding system worked and worked on a levy campaign. And I got kind of more angry about it after that because it's absolutely ridiculous. So then the next step you do when you get angry about that is you go meet your state representative. And it was the pogo moment. I had found the problem, and it wasn't us, it was them. And I decided at that point that I was going to run for the legislature. I was blessed with an opportunity that the 2 state representatives had a little hubris problem, and they couldn't figure out which one of them was going to be the state senator. So they both ran against each other and created 2 empty seats, and I won one of them. And so for 6 years, I've been representing you. I've worked very hard on education funding, and we have made substantive changes. For the 10 or 15 years prior to when I got elected, funding for education had declined as a percentage of the state budget. And there are a lot of complicated reasons for this, but if you read the state's constitution, education is the paramount duty of the state. And we have changed that on 2 fronts. We've changed that the last 2 cycles for the first time. Our percentage of the budget has gone up. Our rankings as a state have stayed about the same, which is good because they've been falling compared to other states. And our percentage of money that we as a state contribute to local districts for construction projects have gone up after a decade of declining. And these are hard changes. I thought this was going to be like Microsoft. I thought I was going to come in there, we were going to have a handful of meetings where we yelled and screamed at each other and drew stuff on the whiteboard, and whoever was louder was going to win, and that was likely to be me. And then we were just going to change things. Well, it turns out that this is more like a super tanker. And as you get more involved in it, as you're there longer, you have more ability to change the direction of the super tanker. And so I have more opportunity now to do that. This is a longer job than I thought it was going to be. No, I don't have to read that. No, okay. She's confusing me. Deb is a great partner, but when she puts papers in front of me, I get a little nervous. And I've gotten interested in a couple other things at the same time. Turns out you all care about transportation investment as well. And we've spent the last 6 years trying to get a bridge built to replace the 520 bridge, which is inadequate, has no HOV capacity, and destroys our ability to run transit across there because it's slower than driving your car to take transit because of the lack of HOV capacity. This year, we cut a deal on how to build a bridge. We cut a deal with the West Side where we have had a fight with Seattle for 10 years on how to build a bridge. And we cut a deal this year. We're going to have a bridge built by 2014 across there, which is very, very fast for building that big a project. We all played a role in this. Deb did a lot of the actual detailed negotiation. My job in this, surprise, surprise, was to be the bad cop and to be the guy who stomped his foot and made noises about what was important to the East Side as we built the bridge. But we were a team. The whole East Side delegation was a team in getting that done. And that's been important. We've made, again, a sea change in how the state does transportation.